Hey there, Christopher L. here. This video, I'd like to talk a little bit about balance. Now, one thing I've certainly heard a lot about since the elections was how I should have been more balanced and how I'm too much into this Jesus stuff. You know, it's good to have religion, but it's too much sometimes, especially if I'm trying to attract people. I should be balanced and, you know, take a balanced approach because it scares people off. And, well, I want to tell you, I think balance is garbage. I think another word for balance is compromise. And I think compromise pollutes and corrupts. For example, and I'll use this just as I have in the past, there is a vast difference between, say, sirloin steak and a McDonald's hamburger. Both are beef, but one has a lot of fillers in it, and it's mixed in with pink slime, and, well, frankly, it's just not the same thing as the sirloin steak. And I like to use this analogy because in my walk with Christ, if I was to focus on balance, then I would be spiritual hamburger. I'd have additives in there. I'd have considerations, concessions, and compromises, so not to offend my non-believing friends. It's a two-way street in the sense that I shouldn't go out and try to offend people with my beliefs. But on the same hand, if my beliefs offend somebody, there's room to talk about it. There's room to work it out. There's room to discuss it. It shouldn't just be put your beliefs on the shelf. And after all, we see this is exactly how the world treats their beliefs. I have no problem with a homosexual man who wants to tell me why he believes that the gays should be allowed to marry. And I have no problem with listening to a woman or a man defend abortion or any of the other things that I disagree with. Because I'm solid in my faith. I'm solid in my beliefs. I will never agree with those things, and yet I can hear their arguments without feeling threatened. To me, balance is a matter of trying to control that threat factor, and I don't see it. I could be wrong. Some of you out there may be all about balance, and maybe you're living a godly life and it's exactly what God intended for you. But somehow, some way, I don't feel that's what God intended for us, or for me at least, specifically. Right there, I just compromised. Huh. The fact is, you can only serve one master. If the salt loses its flavor, what good is it? Can fresh and salt water run from the same spout? These are all little biblical hints telling us no. We have to get as focused on Christ as possible. And believe me, in this world, I know that is virtually impossible. I was hanging with a buddy last night, and it was really cool because I've had friends who are believers, but they're not focused, they're balanced. And those conversations usually roll around to politics or sports or something of that nature. But with this brother, we just talked about the Bible and God for hours, 2-3 hours straight. And when the conversation came time to close, I was disappointed. I wanted to keep going, but such is the way of time. It passes for us. But it made me think, this is what I want. I love it. Balance is so overrated in this world. So I guess the moral of this video is to forget about balance, so in your life you are focused on Christ. Don't worry if others are offended. Don't worry if they shut you out, because if you're out there seeking the kingdom of God, He'll provide you with the fellowship you need. And they'll be real friends. Now, that's not to say humans won't let you down. They always will. But friendship isn't about never being let down. It's about learning how to forgive when you are let down, and establishing a bond that goes beyond the schemes of the devil. Well, until next time, happy Jesus Day. God bless, and peace out. Frankly, the only thing balance is good for is when you're trying to deal with the world. Jesus doesn't want us to be balanced between Him and the world. He wants us with Him. But the world, now that's a different story.